was supposed to be a holiday is now turning into a bit of a disaster. Oh my gosh. So it's 1:15 a.m. the following night, and it's happened again. I'm currently still in bed while David's had to rush into the front, turn on the engine before everything dies again. So we're currently driving 15 minutes back to Bolton-on-Water. Oh my god.
I need you to tell me which one the fridge is.
To hopefully plug in before everything goes dead again. There's definitely something wrong with our battery. I really hope we figure this out. 2 a.m. That is our source of heat again tonight. And we've literally just got to the guy's house where we went to last night, but he's asleep and the outside plug socket's off. Shit. And our battery's too low to even have the heating on, so another night.
Freezing one out again.
Of coldness. Oh, I just want to cry. I just want a good night's sleep. Well, at least we're here. So as soon as he wakes up, we can plug in and then decide what we're doing. We're either driving up to Scotland or we're going to try and get, if it is the fridge, because we had a suspecting feeling it was our fridge pulling too much power and being faulty. So we might get the fridge people to come to us and try and fix it. But it looks like our trip is come to a halt for now until we figure out. But we need to fix the fridge either way. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll update you guys in the next one. So good morning guys, update.
As you can tell by my beard, it's not a good day.
We got, obviously the update last night was we pulled up back at Stephen's house to recharge. He wasn't up, it was already 2 a.m. so we again slept in the cold until 8 o'clock this morning.
In all fairness, this fan isn't super cold.
I know.
It's cold, but it's
cold.
not.
Like if you put your arm out of the cover, it's cold. If you put, I mean, my nose.
But it's not freezing like it is outside the van.
No, because there's literally snow everywhere and frost all outside. It's like minus here, so that was lucky. But obviously we had to wait until he woke up this morning at 8 o'clock for us to get any charge, and then we found out that our lead was broken. He found out that the where we were plugged into before was shorting out and it wasn't pulling enough charge, hence why it took 7 hours yesterday to recharge. And now we're plugged in straight to his house and it literally came on in what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes,
yeah.
So hopefully the recharge won't take that long.
Won't take as long as 7 hours, because we were thinking, oh my god, our whole day would just be spent here waiting for us to charge up. But luckily we're already back on, we've got the heating on, we're charging our appliances.
I've got coffee, so I'm kind of happy.
But the other thing was the fridge.
Yeah, I think the fridge is our problem. Is this the point where I confess about me cutting it up and rewiring it and thinking I could possibly have rewired it bad? Potentially.
The fridge we have is supposed to be a 12 volt and a 240. So basically when you're plugging in the mains, it will take 240, but then when you're on the road, it will just take 12 volts. It's supposed to automatically switch.
But a 12 volt doesn't work.
But the 12 volt doesn't work because and it was never switching. It would just, the lights would only be on, but it wasn't pulling enough charge to turn on. Yeah, for the compressor. So we didn't know. We'd spoken to the guys who built the van and we didn't know if it was the fridge's fault or that it wasn't pulling enough charge. But apparently these fridges do that. Sometimes they could be faulty. So the fridge guy is going to be coming out Friday to switch the fridge for us. But meanwhile, we thought we could have solved it. Well, David thought he could have solved it by rewiring, so then it could only go on the 12 volt. And not have the option.
Yeah, but I've ended up having to cut all the electric boxes out and then I've rewired it back a bit dodgy. I think that's what the problem is anyway.
Do you think?
I'm not 100%
because now we
sure.
think it's pulling more than it ever did, because we last way more than a whole day. We'd last like 3 days.
We'd last 3 days on these batteries.
On the batteries.
Before they needed a good charge.
Yeah.
Or solar power. We haven't had no solar power.
Well, we did. We've had solar. The last 2 days it's been sunny.
Kind of. Not really though. But let's make sure these get a fully, because even when we left yesterday, they weren't fully charged. So we're getting fully topped up. We'll turn the converter off.
And then then there's no 240 going to the fridge. We'll just have the fridge off now. And then we'll see how long we're going to last today without the fridge on and see if we can last 2-3 days.
Yeah, because our boiler runs off 12 volt. Everything runs. We don't need it. The only thing we need it in here for is the fridge.
Yeah.
And charging appliances. But We'll see if we
Yeah.
can. We'll just have to see what happens. Otherwise, the only thing is, if we now go dead again without the fridge running, we know there's a major drain somewhere, or the battery isn't holding properly. So.
Yeah, and that means that we'd have to take a trip up to Scotland to get it all sorted. The travel to Scotland will probably cost us just as much
More
as an
to get
electrician.
electricity, yeah.
So we've got to weigh that up. But for now, we're going to have a
For
cup
now
of coffee.
we're warm and we've got a coffee, and
We've got a coffee. Yeah, but luckily we're not too stressed. We're just going with the flow.
I'm not stressed at all.
No,
At the end of the day, we're in our home. No
we are in our
problems.
home. But there are problems with our home. But
And they'll be resolved.
Yeah. But the good news is we get to continue our trip. So it's not all over.
Part 2 continues today.
Part 2 continues today. Let's have this coffee and then we'll get up. We are now on the way to Tool Station, which is luckily just 2 miles away. It's like round this bend here. Because we realised that our charging lead is like burning out and it's like got water damage in it, and apparently it's like not a very good durable lead either. So we're gonna go to the Tool Station to try and get a new one, a more durable one. So this could be the problem, guys, but we're not 100% sure, because it still could be the fridge and it still could be the charging system and it still could be the batteries, but we're gonna try and eliminate one by one to see what the problem is. What was supposed to be a holiday is now turning into a bit of a disaster. But you know what? We're taking it. Yeah, we've had some really good days. Obviously, the evenings have been a bit of a disaster, being super cold. But you know, the weather is lovely. The sun's out. It's bloody freezing. And big shout out to Steve as well, who keeps helping us. And oh my God, like absolute lifesaver. People out there that are nice people. The world needs more of you guys. So we're going to do a bit of experimenting with the battery today and just check, you know, if it's the fridge, if we have the fridge off all day, does our batteries last longer? And it does show how much we actually have how long we haven't travelled for in our van, because I remember we've travelled in the summer, which equals more solar power. And we've also travelled where we've been really cautious of the fridge, because we know it drains the battery being on 240. But miraculously, something shifted in the fridge and now works on 12 volt. But we need to figure that one out, because it might just be like a fluke and it might just go back to not working again. But either way, we need to figure out what is draining our battery and solve that. You found it?
Your power lead? Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. If we give it this...
What are you doing with that lead bag?
The only place it should go. Just that whole lead was just absolute shite. This is so much dirt. That's not going to... Even the plugs. The chances of water getting in that now are very unlikely.
Right. So we have finally got full charge. I'm thinking it is full, right? So yeah, thank you to those guys for letting us charge our van while we played some darts and had a little drink. But now we are on our way to complete what we were set out to do the other day, but unfortunately couldn't. We are on the way to Broadway, and I've literally just looked it up. So we found a place where we can actually fill up our water, because we're really low on water now. And I also looked and I seen the Fish Hotel and Dormy House, and Dormy House is actually where my mum got married. So I really want to show you where my mum got married, because it's such a lovely place. So hopefully we can like venture in and have a little look around. We also need to find a park up for the evening as well.
Another bloody disaster. I haven't actually brought any of the tab connectors, so the hose pipe's no good. In fact, I've now got to fill this water bucket up. Really? Really? You're having a laugh.
So this is where my mum got married, literally 8 years ago. And we just were driving in Broadway, and suddenly I saw Dormy House on the maps, and I was like, oh my God, there's a pooch playground. So yeah, we're gonna just have a little explore. I wanted to show David where my mum got married. We've got into the van. So far, so good. How long have we been off charge, babe?
So it's about 3 hours.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We left the pub at 2.
Yeah, it's now 5:30.
2, 3, 4, 5, 3.5 hours. And still on green. This is a good sign, guys. The fridge is off. The inverter's off. The water's quite low. Look, we're on orange there. But other than that, the heating's on, the hot water's on.
Gina's comfy looking.
We are now back at the same spot as we were last night, Dover's Hill, to sleep, because originally in the morning we wanted to go for a nice walk, and we thought, because last night 1 a.m. we got rudely interrupted, we thought we'd come back and try again, so then in the morning we can go for a nice walk.
And if our batteries die tonight, I'm driving home. No 1 o'clock pull-ups at Steve's house and go.
No, we can't sleep on Steve's.
Come to the Cotswolds and spend
Yeah.
2 mornings on some random guy's drive.
But yeah, no, let's try and get one night at least. One night, just one night. In the wilderness, in Cotswolds, so we can have our sunrise walk in the morning with little Gino, because he needs to stretch his legs. But yeah, there's so many walks around here, and we definitely want to visit Broadway tomorrow, so we're going to get an early night, we're going to have some dinner, and then get up early for the sunrise, and then make a day of it tomorrow around Broadway. So that's the plan, guys. So far, so good. So we finally made it for our morning walk, and we made it through the night. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're battery's
We
fine.
did it. We did it. So yeah, we're super happy with that. Batteries all good. It only went down 1 bar, which that's pretty normal. The only thing we didn't do was put on the fridge. So yeah, we've made it for the sunrise. Oh my god, this view. This is insane. Dover Hill is the spot to be if you want to see a great view. We are back in the van. We're going to have a nice bit of breakfast and then make our way down to Broadway, which is our last destination on our map. And yeah, it's safe to say we managed to last the night, so we're so happy about that. So yeah, we're gonna head down to Broadway after breakfast and explore the town and maybe find a little tea shop. We definitely fancied a little scone, didn't we, at some point today? Yeah, tea and scone. And yeah, just explore the beautiful town, because we drove past it yesterday. So what we found, babe?
We'll find this beautiful little village of Broadway. And we've just parked up, and now we're going to have a nice little one night, check the shops out, and soak in the beauty that this place has to offer. Obviously, Lauren's found the chocolate shop, and I'm not going to wrestle her out of going in there.
AD 1608.
Baby comes from drinking gin and we'll dream it in time. Sussed it. Love, Mr. Mrs.
Oh.
Just like... If ever there was a place to find me, it would definitely be in the main place. What am I supposed to do now?
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by.
Is that not like one of the coolest tables you've ever seen in your life?
Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I
Yeah, net the truth.
Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, I feel
So we've just left the beautiful village of Broadway, and now we're heading to a monument. The actual name of it is called Broadway Tower. Apparently there's some really nice tea rooms and stuff up there. An interesting fact about the Cotswolds, or where the word Cotswolds comes from, it's actually broken down into two words. The first one's Cots, meaning sheep enclosures or sheep pens, and then the other word is wold, which is basically means rolling hills. The Cotswolds is originally known and famous for its wool. That's where the Cotswolds gained its wealth, from the wool that was being manufactured here from all of the sheep enclosures.
I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way.
So we are going to sign off our video here at the Broadway Tower, and oh my god, what a view it is. We've literally walked around the gardens, we've seen some beautiful views, and we had a lovely cup of tea in the coffee shop. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, we've had highs and lows this trip, but we do love van life, and it has been a whole year since we've decided to go van life, and it was the best decision we ever made. And yeah, we made it happen, we made that dream happen.
Cotswolds, it's been a blast.